Hi. Music used to be the most important thing in my life by far. I literally lived and breathed it 24/7. Music inspired and nourished me, as well as always being there like a faithful friend. Literally, it was the love of my life. It sounds blissful, right? Well, not quite. Looking back now, I realized that the intense relationship I had with my music was not always a bed of roses, and that in many ways it was actually quite desperate. You see, my daily state of happiness used to actually depend on whether I had played well on a gig or if a practice session or rehearsal had lived up to my high expectations. I can even remember being upset about a saxophone reed that was hard to play, that had an airy, weak sound. I know I sound like a snowflake, but I was young and inexperienced, so please don't be too hard on me in the comments. Even back then, I could feel that my approach towards achieving musical prowess was forced, as I was putting in so much time and energy, so desperate to improve was I, and so dissatisfied with my playing. But I could not think of another way to attain my goals apart from striving constantly to play better. I was not alone, though, in my desperation. Many of my colleagues at the time in London, like me, seemed to be wretchedly obsessed with music, and like myself, were in a constant state of masochistic self-flagellation. We must have been quite an unpleasant and tiring bunch as well to be around. In my case, this rather unfortunate, less than optimal way of living lasted many years, until I was 39 in fact, when abruptly, from one day to another, everything changed. Suddenly, music no longer was the sole focus of my life. Something happened. I became a father, and all the worry and fear before about how I played dissipated. Mysteriously, my music started to flow. I began to enjoy the process as well of making music in a way I never had done before. A different life event apart from my kids could have been the catalyst for this massive internal change. But for me, it was these three beings you can see here who took my rather obsessive, desperate tunnel vision focus away from music. Overnight, I just stopped fretting and suffering about an activity that should have brought joy, not suffering. I am not saying my musical life is perfect now, but I can tell you that not being desperate about music helps me to enjoy it in a way that would have been unimaginable before. So how can we avoid being desperate? What can we do? What follows are some ideas I would like to share in no certain order to ameliorate this malaise. 1. Stop focusing on the outcome. Enjoy the experience of playing, without expectations. If you are focusing on the outcome, you are putting your attention on the future, and you are missing the present. 2. I know you love your primary instrument, but don't let this love seduce and blind you. By playing and listening to other instruments, we will appreciate more the role our instrument plays in a piece of music and get a wider perspective. 3. Accept the way you play. It is what it is. You will play differently in a year's time, like you will have different ideas and tastes in a year, provided, of course, you are open to changes and new experiences. 4. Balance your life. Spend time doing other activities that inspire and nourish you. Exercise and time with nature, apart from making us feel good, can actually feed our creativity. If our goal in music is to express what we have inside, we also need to have life experiences to draw upon, which we won't get if we never leave our practice room. 5. We are all unique and have much to offer. One man's meat is another man's poison. It is not our business to judge our output, so to speak, but rather to keep the channel open of what we have to offer to the universe. 6. Develop the ability not to care so much about the good opinions of others. I have had to learn this on my YouTube channel. If I listened to all the haters, I would have stopped doing this a long time ago. 7. Don't fear or avoid errors. Over the years, I have come to realize that many great classic jazz recordings actually contain what we could call imperfections. The only thing is, now I hear these events as adding character and also proof that the artists were not fearful of trying to express themselves. In short, do not fall into the trap of perfection paralysis. 8. Be willing to walk alone and to stay true to the way you play, even if it is not popular or trendy. To do this, we need to listen and follow our inner guide, who is always there. So don't ask for opinions of others. Do what you do without expecting people to react, applaud, or to receive prizes and fame. 9. Get into the zone. Only practice and play music you love and with musicians you resonate with. This is really important. Let me say it again. Only practice and play music you love. Then it will be easier to get into this zone, where you can feel and be in vibration with the music. To conclude, a few final words. If we do what we do in life for love, I believe we cannot go wrong, as we will be fulfilled. We will succeed. In fact, we are succeeding as we are already doing what we love, so we will not be desperate. If, however, we are not following our inner guide and doing things we do not love for an outcome, we are far more inclined to want to succeed, perhaps even desperately, especially if we are somehow sacrificing ourselves. It took me years and years to learn this in all walks of my life, in relationships as well. The traditional educational system trains us with exams and grades that lead us to believe that if we do X, we will get Y as a result. Apart from anything else, this can give us expectations, which can lead us down a dangerous path to entitlement and less than optimum life choices. I would love to hear your thoughts and personal stories with regards to the ideas I have offered here, so I invite you cordially to leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.